News is brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And a very good Wednesday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed. It looks a lot different. It feels a lot different than it did at this time yesterday, just 24 hours ago when we had those severe thunderstorms moving through the area, including a 77-mile-an-hour wind gust that was recorded at Griffiths International Airport in Rome. And that was at exactly 6 p.m. yesterday evening, so just 24 hours ago. Obviously, we're not dealing with anything out there like that right now, but because of last night's storms, we do have a few power outages to tell you about, most of those being in Oneida, just a little bit more than 1,800 as of right now. Herkimer County has over 800, and Hamilton County has 246 as of 6 p.m. We also have a few in Fulton and Madison as well, just a handful there. And that's because in large part of a lot of trees that came down, especially in Oneida County, as Dorian was telling you at the top of the show. We had quite a few in the Sylvan Beach, Vienna area. There's that 77-mile-an-hour wind gust report in Rome, and we had a couple up in Forestport in northeastern Oneida County. And not only did Rome get hit with a tornado last summer, that EF2, but Forestport did as well the week prior. So certainly some areas that don't need severe weather. We're not dealing with any wind gusts like that right now. We have a west-northwesterly wind at 15 miles an hour, temperature 53 degrees, so 30 to 35 degrees colder than it was this time yesterday when we had a high temperature of 86, and it looks a lot nicer as we take a live look at Varick Street in downtown Utica. Right now, the radar is certainly much quieter as well, and that's because we have an area of high pressure in control. So you'll notice most of New York and most of Pennsylvania getting a break from that severe weather. Western Pennsylvania is also dealing with a lot of power outages right now from last night's storm and a lot of damage cleanup as well. But at least we're doing it with sunshine and some cooler temperatures. Obviously, the northwesterly wind is just adding to the cool factor, though. But as we go through the overnight hours, we are going to be dealing with the risk of frost, especially in these blue areas where we'll be dealing with temperatures between 32 and 37 degrees. And the reason why there hasn't been any frost advisories issued there, they're all off toward the west, mainly Onondaga and Oswego County, is because technically in the Adirondacks, the growing season hasn't started quite yet. That typically happens in late May or early June. So it's a little bit early. If you have any plants, though, you definitely want to cover them up or bring them in if you can. Temperatures during the overnight hours between 32 and 37, and that's what will be to start the day tomorrow. We'll have a lot of clouds during the overnight hours and a lot of clouds with us during the day tomorrow, but because the winds will shift over to the southeast, we'll have temperatures between 65 and 70 degrees, and if we're lucky, we may get into the low 70s during the day tomorrow, but before a chance of rain returns tomorrow night into Friday morning. Friday, we could also see some scattered rumbles of thunder in there too, but it doesn't look like any severe weather, at least compared to what we saw yesterday with those high wind gusts out there. Some of that rain will linger into Saturday, though, when we have a temperature of 60 degrees, and Sunday is slightly cooler, but definitely looking like the better of the two weekend days at this point.
No, it definitely looks like the temperature's gotten a little bit better from this morning. It definitely was a lot cooler than it was even yesterday. But again, you know, I hope what they say is true. April showers bring May flowers.
I hope so too, especially considering that tomorrow is the first day of May and it'll be seasonably mild.
Most definitely. Thank you so much, Jordan. Coming up on Eyewitness News at 6.
Is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. Come see why it's gotta be Nye. Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And a very good Wednesday evening to you once again. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking a lot calmer conditions than what we had last night, 24 hours ago, when we had those strong and severe thunderstorms rolling through the areas Dorian told you about at the top, toward the top of our show with all those damage reports. Thankfully, a lot quieter right now, but we had over 200 miles, close to 240 miles of damage reports spanning from the western part of New York, close to the Lake Erie, just to the south of Buffalo, to the south of Rochester as well, closer towards Syracuse, and then, of course, the Utica-Rome area going all the way into Hamilton County as well. And of course, we had some reports closer toward Binghamton, but not only did it follow the path of last year's tornadoes, it also kind of followed the throughway from the west toward the east, from Buffalo over toward the Utica area. Again, nothing like that out there right now. Much calmer winds out there too. The winds are out of the west-northwest, or north-northwest, I should say, at 5 miles an hour. And 40 degrees is that current temperature live in downtown Utica right now. Most of us on either side of 40 degrees as well, but temperatures up toward the north during the overnight hours will drop into the 30s, and that means there could be some frost there even to the south of Utica as well. The radar obviously much quieter out there right now, with the exception of a little bit of ground clutter that you're seeing up around the radar site in Lewis County. No precipitation, in other words, and we do have a lot of clouds moving into central and western New York. We'll see partly cloudy skies during the overnight hours, and because of those dropping temperatures, there is the risk of frost. There's a low to moderate risk of frost up toward the north through the southern Adirondacks and to the south of Utica as well. Here in the Mohawk Valley immediately, I think will be a little bit too warm for frost. It will likely be around 34, 35 degrees. But we'll be colder than that. We could see low 30s, upper 20s to the north and south, in spite of the fact that we will have some clouds. The winds will also stir things up as well. As we go through the day tomorrow, though, we'll see an increasing amounts of clouds, especially after 9 a.m. And by that point, temperatures will be back into the 40s. And we'll also see a southeasterly wind bumping our temperature up into the middle and upper 60s. And if you're lucky down toward the south, you may see temperatures reach the lower 70s before we see some more rain heading our way. And that rain could be with us during the day on Friday. It could be heavy at times too. Looks like the heaviest rain will be just to the north of Utica and Rome down towards Syracuse, where there could be as much as half an inch to an inch of rain. That's just tomorrow night into Friday morning. More rain is likely during the day on Friday, so those rain totals will likely get higher. 34, a few clouds, the risk of patchy frost to the north and south overnight tonight, and then tomorrow temperatures right around 69 degrees. We'll see mostly cloudy skies, but seasonably mild. They should be around 64 this time of year, even warmer as we go through Friday, more of us getting into the low 70s. But again, there is that risk of scattered thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon. Those will linger into Saturday. Saturday's a lot cooler too, 60 degrees, so seasonably cool for this time of year. Sunday definitely looking like the better of the 2 weekend days.
Definitely looking forward to Sunday. Just enjoying the nice sun, but today was a nice day as well.
It was a nice day as well. It's definitely a lot cooler than yesterday, about 30 degrees or so. Not that 86 like we had yesterday, but at least we didn't have any strong or severe thunderstorms.
Yeah, definitely not. And tomorrow, the weather's looking pretty good for the first day of May.
Absolutely. As Justin Timberlake says, it's going to be May, but it's going to feel a little bit warmer than that, so we'll take that.
Most definitely. Thank you so much, Jordan. Coming
Absolutely.
up next on our...
You're watching Eyewitness News at 11 on WUTR.
And a very good Wednesday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed here with a look at your Eyewitness weather forecast. We'll get to that. But let's take a look first at what was yesterday, the severe thunderstorms. We had 200 miles, over 200 miles, close to 240 damage reports, a wide swath of it spanning from Buffalo just to the south, all the way over toward Rochester, following the thruway basically towards Syracuse, Onondaga County, up into Utica, and even up into Hamilton County as well. And then there was another batch of it closer toward the southern tier as well. Most of those being wind damage reports, but there were also a couple of hail icons closer toward the south towns of Buffalo. Thankfully, a much different story right now. 38 degrees, winds out of the southeast at 3 miles an hour in downtown Utica at this time, and temperatures continue to drop from where they were over the last hour. If you were tuning with us then, temperatures still either side of 40 degrees, but areas up toward the north are in the mid-30s. Same thing down toward the south, mainly in Hamilton right now. So that's where you have the best chance of seeing some frost overnight tonight. I'll get to that in just a second, but as far as the radar goes right now, it is quiet. Certainly a much different picture as I just showed you a second ago from 24 hours ago, even a little bit more than that. We do just have an increase in clouds, and in spite of the fact that we will have clouds overnight tonight, temperatures will still drop into the 20s and 30s. 20s more likely toward the north, so that's where you have the moderate to even high risk of seeing some frost overnight tonight, and even down toward the south up into higher elevations. Cooler temperatures, meaning some frost down there as well. Again, here in the Mohawk Valley, temperatures remaining in the mid-30s, so we won't likely see any frost, but still a chilly start to our Thursday and a chilly start to the month of May. But thankfully, we'll have a southeasterly wind moving in tomorrow, and that means temperatures at around 9 o'clock in the morning already in the upper 40s to low 50s. And then as we go through the day, we'll see an increase in clouds, yes, but we will also see temperatures about 5 degrees above average for this time of year. We should be right around 64. We'll be up around 69, but then it also turns wetter as we go through tomorrow night into Friday morning. And then it looks like we could see as much as a quarter to maybe even half an inch of rain between tomorrow night and Friday at 11 a.m., but it looks like it'll continue through most of the day on Friday, so that means we could see more than an inch of rain in total. And before it's all said and done on Saturday. A few clouds, a risk of patchy frost overnight tonight, 34. Double that during the day tomorrow with seasonably mild temperatures, and we'll also have mostly cloudy skies and temperatures on Friday even warmer with a chance of scattered storms moving in the afternoon. That could enhance the amount of rain that you do see if you get into any of those storms. I don't think we're looking at anything widespread severe just like we had yesterday, but temperatures on Saturday regardless will be cooler, around 59. Sunday even cooler, but it's looking like the better of the 2 weekend days, definitely.
Definitely, Jordan. You know, the way that temperature looks, it's a lot better than it was just a couple of weeks ago.
Absolutely, when we had 30s and 40s in the month of April and snow, but we're turning the page into May, and it looks like we're doing so on a warm note.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Jordan. Coming up on Eyewitness News, another sports